The Programs Unit of the Department of Cultural Affairs is committed to working closely with your organizations as we all navigate FY20 CDF reporting during the COVID-19 pandemic. This short video will address final reports for the Cultural Development Fund. A separate video will be posted in the coming weeks regarding City Council initiatives and CreateNYC initiatives. My name is Ashley Firestone, and I am a Senior Program Officer here at DCLA. I will be highlighting important changes to this year's CDF final report, which is due on Monday, August 31st at 5 p.m. This video will provide information about what your organization can expect in the following areas in FY20. Additional categories of expenses will be approved due to COVID-19. Every organization will fill out an online scope of service request for revision. The online final report form is essentially unchanged from years past. Your supplemental materials will be submitted digitally. There are changes to how we communicate with your organization during this time, and our review process may take longer than in the past. This video will focus on what your organization can expect this year, with changes highlighted for FY20. Feel free to pause the video or return to it as you complete your final report. In FY20, the Department of Cultural Affairs has received approval from our oversight agencies to specify categories of expenses that are due to the COVID-19 pandemic and may be charged to the grant. These expenses can be included in your project budgets in the final report and detailed in the report and scope change. These categories of approved expenses related to COVID-19 are detailed in the final report overview to address COVID-19, which all organizations should read before completing their reports. A link to this document was included in the email announcing the launch of the final report and can be downloaded from our website, as shown here. We'd like to highlight a few items from that overview. This year, organizations may charge expenses related to planning and preparation for programs that were curtailed, conversion of programs for online delivery, and expenses related to cancellation programs to their CDF grants. We understand that many of our organizations may not have been able to deliver their services at the scope anticipated because of the New York State pause order. All grantees will retain their initial payments, frequently 80% of the total award. But please be in touch with your program officer if your organization was not able to deliver any services under your CDF grant during FY20 or did not have expenses that equaled the grant amount. There's a possibility that in some of these cases, a final payment may not be issued. In previous years, your organization may have filed a scope of services request for revision form, or a scope change. Those were filed if there were programmatic or budgetary variations to your projects. For FY20, every organization will complete and submit an online scope change form. The form will cover up to 5 projects, unlike the previous form, which was submitted on a per project basis. The deadline for the scope change form is the same as for the online final report, Monday, August 31st at 5:00 p.m. Some organizations submitted a scope change form earlier in the year. These changes are on file with the agency and do not need to be repeated in the online scope change form. The online scope change form can be accessed directly from the reporting page of our website. Program officers are available to discuss the threshold for requests for revision, such as a 25% increase or decrease in the overall project budget, or significant changes to the scope or details of services provided. Organizations will use this form to report routine changes to programming, as well as those due to the pandemic. Organizations whose projects were not significantly changed or that have already submitted an approved request for revision form will only enter contact details, indicate no change on the form, and submit. Changes in scope will be reviewed alongside your organization's online final report, and your program officer will reach out with any questions or requests for revision. Think of this form like the bridge between your FY20 application and your FY20 final report. The application is where you propose what you expect to do. The scope change is where you can describe what changed, why, when, and how. And the final report is where you describe what actually took place. The online reporting form will be essentially unchanged from previous years. The form includes fields to enter text alongside the corresponding information you entered in your application or renewal. If your program specialist finds the final report insufficient, you will be able to edit and correct the data entered and to resubmit the form. The report must be approved by the agency before you can receive your final payment. On the online form, you'll be required to provide details about all the projects that made up your grant agreement. All organizations will log in using an NYC ID email address that is listed as an active user for their organization. This is what you'll see once you log in. It is the same page you saw when completing your application. It is essential to make sure that all of your organization's contacts are updated and that inactive email addresses are removed. The email addresses of the active users listed on your account profile are our primary means of contacting your organization. The final report form uses information from your account profile, so it must be accurate. You can access the account profile and make changes by clicking the yellow button. To begin working on your final report, click the Start Final Report button. This video will not go field by field through the final report. However, the instructions document available for download on our website provides guidance for each and every field. All grantees are encouraged to keep those instructions by their side as they complete the final report, especially those who were grantees for the first time in FY20. Use the final report form to describe only the actual services that were delivered in FY20. Do not refer to your original plans or cancellations that were the result of COVID-19. The scope change document is the place to detail those changes. Your program officer will expect a high level of detail in the final report. A common reason for revision is because a report is lacking specific and measurable detail. The two paragraphs shown here relate to the same program. The first is vague. The second includes the kinds of details that we are seeking, including the exact number of seminars that took place, the duration, details about the direct recipients, the staff names who participated, and information about exact dates and venues. You can pause the video here if you'd like to review this slide more closely. The final report will include questions about your direct and indirect service recipients. During the New York State pause order, we understand that many audiences were served online and that participants in your programs who are ordinarily physically located in New York City may have temporarily relocated. Please use available data or your organization's best estimate to include audiences served by adjusted programs. This year, supplemental materials will be uploaded online. Do not mail hard copies to the DCLA office. These submissions will not be accepted. The reporting page on our website will direct you to a site for the digital submission of supplemental materials that are required for all grantees, including the FY20 Scope of Services Request for Revision discussed earlier, and links to online supplemental materials to substantiate the delivery of services as you describe in your report. Additionally, the Conflicts of Interest certification and the additional locations template are documents available for download from our website, and applicable grantees will submit them as part of the supplemental submission form. For supplemental materials, in previous years, organizations have submitted hard copy documents for each project funded. For FY20, each organization will submit a single link to web-based documentation for each project. You might choose to submit a page on your website that shows photos or video of a program, or you could provide a link to programmatic materials in a Google document. You may link to a folder with multiple documents for the project. Any online portal provided must be unlocked without password protection or other login requirement. For example, if you submit a web-based photo album, a Dropbox folder, a Facebook page, please ensure that no password is required to access it. If they are applicable, you can upload completed templates for additional locations or conflict of interests here, but that will not apply to all grantees. For locations, the majority of grantees will enter all programmatic locations in the online report form. It accepts up to 25 locations. Web-based programs should have at least one entry in this form. You may enter the administrative address of your organization, even if personnel delivering those programs did so from their homes. Only those grantees whose programs took place in more than 25 locations will submit the additional locations template, which can be downloaded from our website. This is a visual of what that template looks like. If your programs took place in more than 25 locations, you'll download this template from our website to enter the name, address, borough, district, and zip code of any locations beyond the 25 you already included in your final report form. If there are additional locations for more than one project, you'll enter them all into one template for submission. This template will be uploaded with the other supplemental materials before the deadline, August 31st at 5:00 p.m. The program staff continues to work remotely, which means there are changes to how we ordinarily communicate with your organization. As mentioned before, all organizations should email their program officers with questions. It will help us serve you more efficiently if you send one email with all of your reporting related questions rather than sending multiple emails as you work your way through the report. In cases where it would be easier to speak in person, your program officer is available to schedule a phone call or a Zoom meeting with you. Please make every effort to begin the report as soon as your program officer may not be able to schedule a call in the days leading up to the deadline. So begin that work soon so that we can schedule time with you. While messages left on the program's help desk phone line will be forwarded to your program officer, email is the best way to reach us. The programs unit now also has an online form to address technical issues with our application, available from the reporting page of the website. If your organization is receiving errors, if you're having trouble logging in or experiencing issues with field validation, you can submit details about the issue and you can upload screenshots here. Be aware that these inquiries are usually addressed within 24 hours, so please submit IT inquiries in advance of the deadline day. Our staff will be working through final reports in the order received. Your organization's final payment can be issued only when the final report, scope change, and supplemental submissions are approved. Like many of our grantee organizations, our staff is designing and testing out new systems for remote work, and as a result, the review of FY20 final reports may take longer. We know that you are eager to receive your final payments, and we are eager to issue them. Please wait to hear from us about the status of your report. Time spent responding to inquiries takes away from our time to process payments. Your active delegates will receive confirmation emails when your online final report, your scope change, and your supplemental submissions are received. If there are no required changes to your report upon submission, your program officer will update the report's status to draft approved and send you an email to let you know. At this point, you'll need to log in once more to recertify and resubmit. Information submitted at that time will be your final submission and will allow us to process your final payment. If your report's status is revisions requested, This means your report could not be approved as submitted. Expect an email from your program officer with instructions on adjusting or correcting your report. Give this your immediate attention. Follow the instructions provided and resubmit. Once you receive notification that your draft has been approved, you'll need to log in once more, recertify, and resubmit the revised report so that we may process your final payment. Other than for volume, reasons for delay usually have to do with not following the instructions. Please ensure that you have submitted the change in scope form and supplemental materials on time. Please ensure that your report is sufficiently detailed. Make sure that your report does not refer to any activities outside of the city's 5 boroughs or outside of the city's fiscal year. Make sure that the report does not include any activities that were funded by City Council initiatives or other agency initiatives. Do not copy and paste your application proposal language into the report form. Or make sure that your location information is entered correctly. As a final reminder, the deadline for the CDF report is Monday, August 31st at 5:00 p.m. The online report for City Council initiatives and CreateNYC initiatives will be released before mid-August, and there will also be an informational video for those reports. Organizations that have applied for capital support should keep an eye on their inboxes for further information on the capital process. Again, if you have specific questions about how to complete this report for your organization, please email your program officer directly. Thank you for viewing this video, and we look forward to working with you.